We spend our entire lives working hard to build our assets, our homes, our savings, everything. But how often do we stop and think about protecting it all? It's a question that often gets pushed aside. So today, let's walk through the simple but absolutely crucial steps to make sure the financial security you've worked so hard for is, well, secure.
This quote really says it all, doesn't it? True financial strength isn't just about how much you can accumulate. It's about preservation. Making money is only half the job. The other, arguably more important half, is making sure it stays safe.
And this is such a common trap. We're all so focused on earning, saving, and investing, which is great, but we often delay taking those simple actions that could prevent huge losses down the line. The good news? It's a pattern that's really easy to change, and we can start right now.
To understand why this is so critical, let's just look at a common scenario. This isn't some made-up story. These situations happen all the time, and they have very, very real consequences for people.
This is a really painful one. Imagine a person who has worked their whole life, and just to settle everything, they transfer their home to their children. No conditions, no safeguards, just pure trust. And for a while, everything seems fine. But then, life happens, circumstances change, and suddenly they find they have no control over the very home they built. This isn't about a lack of trust in family, it's really a failure of planning.
Now, what's really surprising is that most financial problems don't come from some big, dramatic market crash. Nope, it usually comes from a few small, consistent, and frankly, completely avoidable mistakes that just quietly chip away at your security over time. So let's just take a moment here as we go through some of these common slip-ups, just see if any of them sound a little familiar. Being honest with yourself right now is probably the most important first step you can take towards building a stronger financial future.
This slide just lays it out so clearly. This is probably the biggest and most common mistake, putting off making a will. Just look at the difference. On one side, with a will, you have peace, you have clarity. On the other side, without one, the law just takes over, and that often means court battles, family arguments, and so much unnecessary stress.
And it's not just about the will. These other financial habits, they're like silent termites, just slowly eating away at your financial foundation. Taking on too much debt, where your loan payments are eating up almost half your income, that puts you on really shaky ground. Or ignoring insurance. Seriously, one trip to the hospital could wipe out decades of hard work. And keeping secrets about your finances, that can leave your family totally unprepared in an emergency. Okay, so we've looked at the risks. I know, it can feel a bit overwhelming, but the solutions are actually very practical. So let's shift gears and talk about the actual steps you can take to build a really strong defense for your assets.
It all really starts with getting your paperwork in order. Just think of this slide as your basic checklist. It's not just about having a will, it's about keeping it updated as your life changes. It's about having organized records, both physical files and digital copies. And so important, making sure at least one person you trust knows where to find everything if they need to.
And if the paperwork is your foundation, these habits are what build the fortress around it. Simple things, right? Like diversifying your investments so all your eggs aren't in one basket. And having an emergency fund. That fund is so much more than just money. It's your independence. It's what gives you control and dignity, especially as you get older.
Now, if you only take one single thing away from our chat today, please let it be this. Do not transfer all of your assets during your lifetime without putting some safeguards in place. Always, and I mean always, keep some property or an income source or some legal right for your own security. This is absolutely non-negotiable for protecting yourself. Following all these steps, it isn't just about avoiding losses or preventing fights. It's about proactively designing a future for yourself where you have security, you have dignity, and you have peace of mind. That's the real goal here.
I think this is such a powerful way to look at it. Sometimes people avoid these conversations because they think it suggests they don't trust their family. But that's not it at all. This is an act of care. This is you being responsible for your own future and for the well-being of the people you love.
And that's really what it all boils down to, isn't it? Every one of these small, deliberate actions, updating a nomination in your bank account, organizing a file, reviewing your insurance policy, it all adds up to this one big goal. These are the little things that guarantee your dignity and your independence for the long haul.
So, we'll end with this thought. Protecting your legacy isn't a one-time thing you just check off a list. It's an ongoing practice of care and attention. So the question I want to leave you with is this. What is one small step,
Just one that you can take this week to better protect everything you've so carefully built.